Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Melanie Parker. I'm the founder of Party Plan 123, where we love to help you learn how to never ever run out of bookings again so that you can truly achieve the lifestyle that you really dream of for you and your family. But guess what? Today is all about 3 simple steps how to recruit and how to team build in your direct sales business. So welcome. We are super excited to have you here. We have a special guest trainer for you today. But to begin, let's type in a little message into the chat box and let me know, where are you from? So I'm typing in a little question into there right now, and hopefully you can see that coming up on your screen. And as you are arriving into the session here today, please do go ahead and type in a little message. I can see Taryn, Amy, Lisa, Yen, they're all saying hello to me, and we would love to know, which company do you work with? Which country are you in right now? And of course your name as well. So I can see we've got Queenslanders in Australia, my friend Alberta from Nutrimedics, hi. Amy is with Jamberry. Whoops, the names are flying by. Katia from Arbonne, I think she's in Queensland. Where's our USA and Canadians? Here we go, I can see, oh, Sarah, welcome. We've got someone there from Christchurch, Nicole from Norwex. Teresa's in Michigan, there we go, USA. Bonnie's from Kentucky. Now, I'm just going to pop a quick little message up into you'll see a little green message come up the top here. And that's just going to give you some simple steps on how to begin today. So you'll see up there on first of all, just a few quick instructions on how to use this webinar platform. So right now you're logged in, you're seeing my webcam. We have a guest trainer today, Gary Glenn, and he'll be coming up on the screen in a moment to talk to you personally. Now on the right-hand side, if you're on a computer, you'll be seeing the chat role, and there's also the offer tabs, and that's where I'm going to be communicating with you and hearing what you're saying to me as we go all the way through. Now, if you're on a mobile phone or a tablet, the chat role and the offer box is usually just underneath where you're seeing the webcam right now. So have a look down underneath on the bottom right-hand corner, and you might need to just minimize your screen a little bit, and then you'll see the chat role in there. So welcome to Carol, Bonnie, Emily, Rhonda. We've got Mary Kay, Jamberry, Pink Zebra, Tastefully Simple, wow, wow, wow. Leah from Tupperware, Alison from Close to My Heart. We've got Maria from Pampered Chef. That is amazing. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that the chat role is also the best place to write your questions as we go along. So you can simply just write into the comments, or if you want to get a little bit clever, if you can see where you write your message, you can actually change that little click down box to a question instead of just a comment, and that makes it a little bit easier for me to find it. One last thing, and this is super important. I have a question for you. Have you shared this event with your team? Because it makes sense if we're talking about team building and recruiting and sponsoring today to really grow your business to the maximum potential, then it makes sense to invite your team to be in here, doesn't it? So what you need to do, in fact, what I need, oops, actually I noticed I've just got a little bit of a typo in there with the share link. So I'll change that in a moment. So let me just write in here into the chat box. The share link for today is partyplan123.com/guest trainer. And if you have a look on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there are some social media sharing buttons in there. So all you need to do is press one of those and it will share it straight out to social media. And I'm going to fix that typo that I've got up there in the screen in a moment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get this show underway. In fact, tell me this in the chat role. Are you there right now? Are you looking for ways to recruit more people, sponsor more team members, and more importantly, build your team? If that is you, can you please type in a big and enthusiastic yes into the chat role right now? Who wants to know how to recruit and build their team in direct sales? Let's see some excitement. Let's see some enthusiasm, because this webinar is perfectly designed for you. I've been watching the questions that have been coming in from a lot of our Facebook Live videos, and so many of you, and thank you, I can see everyone going crazy now. We're going, yes, 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 we want to sponsor, we want to recruit, and Gary Glenn is the guy to help us do that today. I've had so many of you asking me questions from Facebook Live videos, and however you see me at seminars, and however you talk to me and get the message through. And lots of you are saying, Mel, we need more help with recruiting. And this is the perfect time for sponsoring right now, because our sales are up with everyone purchasing gifts for Christmas. And this time of year, people start to look for something a little bit new, especially as we go into the new year. So get excited. So this is perfect for you. Gary Glenn is someone that is really special to me because he has helped us out before with many, many direct sales recruiting tips. You are going to fall in love with the really simple strategies that he has to share with you today. This is all about giving you 3 simple steps to recruit and team build in direct sales. And Gary is going to help give you simple words, phrases that are going to attract attention so that your party guests or whoever you're meeting in your promotional work will want to know about your generous income opportunity and will want to know how they can do what you are doing and join your team. So welcome everyone. I can see Hannah, Heather, Fredina, Tracy, Patricia, they're all waiting to go. So Gary Glenn, come on up to the stage and we're giving you a round of applause. He's the recruiting rocketeer and here we go. Woohoo, the crowd goes wild.
Hi, everybody. It's so great to see. Do I need to click on myself to be seen, or you do that?
We are seeing you right now.
Oh, very good. Well, I see you. I'm looking straight at you, so it's fantastic. Hi, everybody. I am so delighted to have the opportunity to participate in this webinar today to give you some ideas that are going to have a profound impact on your ability to get to the point of generating more recruit leads and, of course, building a team more effectively. The bottom line is everybody should recruit. Every single person in any party plan presentation absolutely should be recruiting, because recruiting is just offering the job. That's what recruiting is. Team building is, of course, then taking that recruit lead that you get and actually then sitting down, having a cup of coffee and doing an interview and bringing that person into the company. If you're not ready to team build, recruit anyway and pass that lead on to your upline, pass that lead on to your manager. And of course, after you see her take that lead 4 or 5 times and start making money with it, you'll recognize the opportunity should certainly be there for you to be recruiting instead, as well as team building, instead of just her. So let me just share my screen with you. I have a wonderful slide presentation to show you today. So let me just share my screen with you and make sure that this will work for me. Melanie, if you can just make sure that this works when I do that. And
absolutely. I'm watching on my other screen. And Gary, let's just remind everyone, we have a major prize draw to give away at the end of today, because I know how much everyone from Party Plan 123 loves a good old raffle at the end. So right. what we've got to give away today is a full access course to, are you ready for it? 2 seminar tickets live, and I've just opened up our next USA and for the first time ever Canada seminars. So get ready. So 2 live event seminar tickets plus a whole course with 6 modules in audio version on the online roadmap to party plan success. Yoo-hoo! So get ready for that. And I need someone to remind us to do the prize draw. So someone please type into the chat roll and let me know that you will remind me for the prize draw. So Gary, just, yes. Yeah, we're seeing your screen. That's perfect. So I will put myself on mute and then I'll jump in when I have some questions along the way. But I'm watching everyone's comments. And just a quick reminder, everyone share this event. So press the little social media buttons on the bottom right-hand corner, or simply send them to the link that you can see in the green sticky note message that's up the top in the chat roll. So I'll mute my sound and take it away, Gary. We can't wait.
Great. Thank you, everybody, and thank you so much, Melanie. I am the Direct Selling Rocketeer. That's where you'll find me on Facebook. You just look up Gary Glenn, Direct Selling Rocketeer. That's Gary with 1 R and Glenn with 2 N's. The Direct Selling Rocketeer, you'll find that there's a lot of information on Facebook that will introduce you to a lot of the ideas and tips and techniques, particularly as they do relate to recruiting and team building. Of course, I talk about bookings, but there's a master of the booking world, and that, of course, is Melanie Parker. So I bow to her as your booking expert. And I'm going to talk tonight about the whole recruiting process. I believe we've got 4 jobs to do at every party we do. We should be out there booking, we should be selling, we should be hostess coaching for our next party presentation, and we should be recruiting. Those are the 4 jobs we have to do. It's a very simple business that we run and operate, and it's so important that we program into our head that we're going to do those 4 things exceptionally well. All of our training, all of our motivation, all of our development really should be focusing on those 4 steps. On booking, so we have future presentations, selling effectively so we earn commissions and sales, and of course hostess coaching, which is the most important step in my opinion to making sure we have successful parties, and recruiting. And we want to talk about how much things have really changed. We are in a world where things are not the same as they used to be. We are in a time when people are looking for freedom and they're looking for financial security, which puts us in the perfect position to start doing a better job of team building, a better job of recruiting at the parties that we do, because every single time we go out, if you do a party presentation with 8 to 10 guests, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be at least one person there who is ready to do something in order to have freedom and financial security. People are telling me everywhere I go that they feel as though the things are so different than they were 10 years ago because they feel they have no real job security. We are in an era when global downsizing is happening. I mean, just walk into the supermarket and there are no checkout people at the counters anymore. Walk into the banks, there's half the staff that there were at the banks. You walk into department stores and you can yell in order to try to find somebody to come and help you. There is a reduction in the number of jobs that are out there, and people are feeling insecure. And as a result of that, many families right now are in fact working week to week to make ends meet. So many people are finding that they run out of money before they run out of month. And unfortunately, that's put people in a real circumstance where they're in a pinch. But they still want the car. They still want the kids in private school. They still want the vacation. They still want the new carpet for the house. But they're finding that it's tougher and tougher and tougher. So what is it? They're starting to look for something that will add to their family income. They're starting to look for an opportunity that will give them the chance to add another $100, $200, or maybe $1,000 or more dollars per week to their family income to create that sense of security. It's true that that old idea that our parents gave us many years ago, that 40-year plan of working for a boss or being in their own business is just no longer viable. Because it's also true that in this era, the statistic is that only 5% of people in the United States and in Australia and New Zealand, they say only 5% of people will retire with enough income. And only 1% will be considered wealthy. So are we in the perfect position to offer an opportunity to people to add to their income? Yes. Are we in the perfect position to offer people the opportunity to have a sense of security and freedom with the way that money is earned? Yes. It's flexible. They have the opportunity to do this around their family. They can do it around their other job if they still want to keep their other job, and add to their business, add to their lifestyle, add to their family security by doing a business part-time or full-time working with you. So we're in the perfect time. I guess what I'm really saying is, direct selling, the party plan world, has become the new way of doing business and earning income successfully. Remember 20 years ago or even 10 years ago, the stigma that was attached to party plan was that it was like, oh, a bit outdated, and oh, my mother sold plastic food containers 25 years ago, and that's no longer the way of the world. Well, I'll have to tell you, everything I'm seeing in Western society is that they're returning to party plan. In the UK, in Australia, in New Zealand, in the United States, in Canada and Mexico, I'm seeing that more and more people are returning to party plan because they love the idea of doing a business around their family and earning that extra income, and it's pretty darn good income, usually at least $100 an hour that they can earn in an opportunity that requires no further education, no further investment really, because they pay off their kit in the very first few presentations they make, and of course they can do it from their current position. I'm going to say to you, this is the perfect storm. We are in the perfect time when people are looking for the opportunity to add, and party plan, direct selling, network marketing has its place. The good news is anybody can participate and earn. We don't care what their age is. We don't care what their physical condition is, as long as they can stand up long enough to do a party presentation. We don't care what their current income level is. We don't care what their socioeconomic level is. Anybody, from a 22-year-old to a 95-year-old, anybody, from someone who is healthy, who is unhealthy, who's overweight, who's fat, who's thin, who's educated, who's uneducated, who's experienced or inexperienced, can earn a small sideline income or a very high income. It's their choice as to what they would like to be able to do with your business working with you. And according to our statistics, more and more people are wanting to work for themselves with a home office setup. It is absolutely true. In all the surveys, again, in all Western society countries, more and more people are wanting to work for themselves at home. And it's an absolutely perfect thing for them to work with you in your party plan business. Now, I don't care what your politics is. This first quote comes from Donald Trump, who is a business leader who has endorsed direct selling very, very strongly. Donald Trump said, you know, in a world where job security isn't secure, create your plan B with direct selling and turn it into your plan A. In fact, I saw a replay of an interview of Donald Trump on a talk show, and this was about a year ago, before we were really in this unbelievably surprising political situation that we're in. But Donald Trump was asked by the moderator of this talk show, if you lost all your money, Donald, if you lost everything and you went broke, what would you do to get started again? He said, I'd find a good direct selling company, I'd sign up, and I'd go to work. And I thought, wow, is that an endorsement? He wouldn't borrow money and do buildings. He wouldn't do real estate. He would get involved with a good direct selling company and go to work. To me, that's a pretty strong statement. Robert Kiyosaki, the guy who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, says direct selling is what people want. It's the business plan of the future. Do you hear that? It's the business plan of the future, and it's possible for everybody to win. Sir Richard Branson says, take control of setting up your own business. If you don't take the risk, you'll achieve nothing. Do the things that provide you security and the things that you can be proud of. Top business leaders are endorsing this part of the world of business, and we are in the perfect position to bring people into it. Our most recent statistics in Party Plan show us the opportunities, and it is to recruit. It's absolutely true that so many people have focused over and over and over with all the parties they've done on the product they sell. They've put so much focus on product, product, product. And as a result of that, when they go out, yes, they make good sales. And then they decided, oh my goodness, I better get bookings. Otherwise, I'm not going to have any future business. And so what do? They focus on bookings as well. But then they say, oh, this recruiting thing, I'm going to make sure I'm comfortable with booking and selling before I start recruiting. They form a habit of doing selling, of doing bookings. And along comes Gary Glenn, the direct selling rocketeer. Along comes Melanie Parker, the whiz at Party Plan 123, and says, let's build teams. And people go, well, you know, I'm just really not that. And for some reason, they've missed the opportunity to earn the kind of income that they deserve from this business. This
I think
is
you're right, Gary.
Go ahead.
I think you've been listening in.
Pardon?
I think you've been listening in to the conversation of everyone. I'm getting a little bit of an echo there, but that's okay. Oh no, it's gone away now. But you're absolutely right. That's the type of things that go through our mind as a common direct seller, a party plan consultant who's out there doing the everyday parties. At first, we just want to get the sales, and then we're a little bit nervous about the bookings, and then we focus on that. And then all of a sudden, we might have run out of bookings, and now we haven't even got anyone that we can invite in the sponsoring. So what this is all about for everyone at Party Plan 123, I admire you for being here today, because Gary's going to help us to overcome that challenge before the problem gets serious. And even if you're here today and you feel like, you know, I don't know what else I can do to team build and to get bookings, Gary's going to share with you some simple ways to get you out of that and to keep going. So let's keep moving on. I'm loving this. Thank you, Gary. Everyone else is loving it as well.
Great, thank you. Well, I guess what I'm really saying is now's the time to make the renewed commitment, the renewed effort to do what's important now. To get on to the point of saying, I'm going to look at doing this time, I'm going to be seeing business building as an effective recruiting training as a priority in my life and in my business. I'm going to get renewed enthusiasm for recruiting. And of course, I've got a training program that will help you to do just that. And we're going to open up later on to give you an exciting breakdown of what this new segment of training program that I have that will help you to improve your recruiting. Bottom line, we need to focus on recruiting, but we need to learn to present it in such a way to where people see the value and the benefit of joining your business. I guess it's important to know that recruiting well is a real mindset. We need to see ourselves as a person who is in the team building business. When someone asks you, what do you do? And you say, well, I sell this wonderful party plan product, and you talk about how great the skincare is, or how great the juice is, or how great the lingerie is, or how great the jewelry is. People think that what you're doing is selling as a retailer. And if that's your mindset, that's exactly what you'll be doing. I believe when someone says, what do you do? It's probably a good idea to say, I am building a national team of salespeople in the fruit business. I am building a national team of salespeople in the jewelry business. And they go, really? What sort of team is that? And you pull out your catalog, you pull out your recruiting brochure, and you show them, because you have the mindset that you are in the business of team building. That's the first important thing. And part of that then is to say that at every single party presentation I make, I'm going to set a new standard of the way I do things. And that standard is going to be driven by the words, pardon me, by the letters R, B, R. If you are having a recruiting mindset, you will work with these three letters in your mind. And these three letters, of course, stand for recruit first, book second, and retail third. In other words, as you begin your party presentation, you recruit first. You offer the job as the very first thing you do in your presentation. You then offer the booking opportunity as the second thing you do in your presentation. And finally, you get around to offering the retail product. Recruit first, book second, and retail third. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. Now, there's a couple of things.
That is awesome, Gary. I hope everyone's got their notebooks and their pen. They're taking notes. So write this down. RBR. What does it stand for? Recruit first, book second, and retail third. I love it.
And it requires three things. It requires clear goals. And that is to have a goal of going to every party presentation you make with the goal of finding at least one person at that party who's interested in finding out more about the business. Set that as a goal. Secondly, have an attitude of expectancy that says, I am here to find one recruit lead, and I expect to find one. I expect there's at least one person here who's going to be interested and wants to know more. And the third thing is self-image, seeing yourself as a recruiter, as a team builder, just as much as you see yourself as a presenter of your fabulous product. And I want you to be a genius in this area. A genius is somebody who will define and then refine their dream, and then they act on high priority actions in order to fulfill that dream. They define their dream, they refine their dream, and then they act on high priority actions to fulfill it. So I'm going to ask you to consider that you are a recruiting genius, a person who refines and defines their goal and acts each day to achieve it. So I would love you to have this as your affirmation in the morning. You're putting your makeup on, you're having your breakfast, you're saying this affirmation. I am a recruiting genius, and this is my year for amazing growth. Start to get to the point to where you have that. Remember, a genius defines and refines their dream and acts on high priority actions to fulfill it. Start programming that you are a recruiting genius, and you're working and studying and asking and learning. You're listening to audio material. You're watching webinars on recruiting and team building in order to build your business, and then each day take action. Mindset in the right place about what you're there to do. Yes, you're there to sell product, but you're there to RBR. Recruit first, book second, and retail third. And the audio training program, I have a 6-week audio training program, and we've made a very special 2-week program that you'll be able to get for just a small portion of the investment. And it features the area of mindset. That's the first week. And the second week, it features the area of how to recruit. And there's some booking information in that one as well. But that will be a review for some of you. But it really goes into the scripting. And it goes into the words, the action that you would take at every party that you undertake in order to recruit effectively. What I'm really saying is let's break the habit. Melanie stepped in a minute ago and suggested that we all have the habit of, unfortunately, selling and booking, selling and booking, selling and booking, and sometimes not even booking that well. That's why we study Melanie's material so much. But I think we need to break the habit of just selling and booking and start thinking recruiting is equally important to booking, equally important to selling the product that we have to sell. Break the habit trap and get focused on recruiting. And it's a commitment to apply some real basic and simple principles that if you do them correctly, well, you'll find that you will get one lead from every single party presentation you make. Now, we're making the assumption you've done a good job of hostess coaching. We're making the assumption you've done a good job and you've got your 8 to 10 guests to arrive at the party, and you've done that very, very well. So out of those 10, I will almost guarantee you there's at least one lady, one person who is interested in hearing about the business that you're offering. And we want to make sure we offer it to every single guest at every single party in order to find that lady. But we do it in non-pushy, non-salesy, very soft, very conversational way. Those are the basics of how I teach the recruiting process. So what we'll do is we'll get this information that you've heard and heard and heard, and your company probably preaches this at conference. Your company probably teaches this at all of the workshops that you go to. It's in your subconscious. But I'm going to help you pull it out of your subconscious, make it very simple, and turn it into action. Now, what's your recruiting goal? How many people would you like to add to your downline team in the next month, or in the next 3 months, or in the next 12 months? What is your recruiting goal? If you had 10 more people in your downline who were active, and by active, I'm talking about people who do 2 parties a week at least a $500 average. And I know some of you have substantially higher averages than that. But the recruiting goal would be to say, I want to add 10 people to my team. Maybe it's to add 20 or 30, but set a recruiting goal of how many you'd like to add to your team within a given time frame. And then ask the question, do you really want that? Do you truly want to achieve that recruiting goal? Then if you do, for goodness sakes, make the commitment to start to study and act in such a way to where you can make that new goal happen. Question is, are you willing to do what it takes to achieve that recruiting goal? Are you willing to make the investment in time and energy, and maybe in the training program that I'm going to be offering to you today? Are you willing to make that commitment to yourself to say it's time for me to start applying these principles of effective recruiting more consistently? Here's one thing you could do. You call your people, your prospects, your past hostesses with a script in front of you. And you say something like, hi, Janet, it's Gary from XYZ Company. Have I caught you at a good time? And then, by the way, this script is in the audio program that you'll have the opportunity to get as well. And you can re-listen to this program as well through Melanie's Party Plan 123. She'll be giving you the replay information as well. So after you break the ice on the phone, you say, you know, Janet, it's been a while since we last spoke, and I wanted to call you with some exciting news. I'm expanding my XYZ business, and I immediately thought of you as someone who might like to help. I'm looking for at least 2 new consultants to work with me in your area. You probably remember that I offer full-time money for part-time hours by doing a career that can be flexible around your family and other commitments. And here's the question. Who do you know that might be interested in getting some more information about the XYZ business? Now, you realize what we're doing here. We're not asking her if she wants to join your business. We're not calling her up and trying to recruit her. We're calling her up with some exciting news that you're looking to expand your business in her area. We offer full-time money for part-time hours. Who do you know that might be interested in getting some more information about the business? And you're going to get one of 2 answers. She's either going to say, oh, I can't think of anybody. You say, well, that's a shame. Well, you know my number. If you happen to think of anybody, call me and let me know. Or she's going to say, well, actually, you know, my daughter was just the other day saying that she really needs some extra income. And, you know, my hairdresser was saying she's looking for a new direction. Or she may even say, you know what? It's me. It is the first of the year. It's New Year's time. It's time for my resolution. I've decided I'm going to do something for myself. I'd like to hear more about how this business could work. So are you prepared with that script that says, I'm expanding my XYZ business? Thought of you as someone who might like to help. I'm looking for at least 2 new consultants. You probably remember I have full-time money for part-time hours, working a career that's flexible around your family and other commitments. Who do you know that might be interested in getting some more information about the business? Now, if you believe you're a recruiting genius, you will start using a script like that with every hostess you've had for the last year, the last 5 years, and anybody that you can think of that might help you to supply you with a lead. So you can go there if you're not doing any parties. But if you're doing parties, where does a recruiting genius get her leads? She, of course, gets them from the parties themselves. Recruiting, that's going to be the key. And by the way, if you don't invite well, if you never invite people to join your business well, you'll never get to the point to train them to succeed. You'll never recruit them. So we need to learn to be better inviters. We need to do a better job of planting the seed through our party presentation, helping people see the value and excitement without being party planny, without being pushy, without being aggressive. And we want to do it in such a way to where we invite exceptionally well for the purpose of making them curious, making them say, you know, I've always wondered how much money you could earn from something. I wondered if I could do this. I've never sold anything before. I'm curious how you think I might be able to do this. Because, of course, over the cup of coffee, you'll show her how, with your support, the training, the company's support and training, she'll be able to be successful. So throughout our presentation, we do what we call recruiting bids. Now, you might call them recruiting cues. Some company call them recruiting seeds. Whatever you want to call them, throughout your presentation, you will be able to say, I am going to offer this business several times. And by the way, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. So you need to practice and rehearse the scripts and become exceptionally confident and comfortable that you are going to be able to say it with confidence, with enthusiasm, with excitement. And again, the audio program or the webinar program that I'm going to offer you gives you the opportunity to learn many of these skills to be more confident and have the right words, the right scripts to be able to present it. I recommend that you follow a formula. Your company may very well have a formula, scripts that identify how you should say what you should say throughout your party presentation to plant the idea, to plant these seeds, to effectively offer the business to other people. And by the way, let me make this point. It is not offensive to offer someone a job. Some people think, oh my goodness, this recruiting stuff, I don't want to sound like, oh, I don't want to be too party planning. I don't want to be too pushy. I won't offer the business to everybody. Well, why not? Because it's offensive. It's not offensive because all you're doing is offering somebody an opportunity to do a job or a career situation in their own small business, which will give them more financial freedom, more security. There's no offense, particularly if you follow the scripts that I teach. Some people say it's not my way to say it like that, Gary. I wouldn't say those words. And I say, well, what would you say? And they do terribly bad. They say things, it's just like asking somebody if they want a book. Do you want a book? Do you want to book a party? Do you want a book? Do you want a book? Do you want a book? Book. They start sounding like the party plan chicken. Do you want a book? Book, 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 book. Unfortunately, that sounds a bit like push. Do you want a book? Do you want a book? I prefer to say, what would you say about having a few friends in and booking a presentation at your place and receiving some of this amazing collection for free and half price? To me, what would you think is just offering somebody some free product. It's exactly the same in offering the business. All you're doing is offering somebody the opportunity to increase their income, to increase the family stability and security, and to increase their freedom by doing something as simple as doing your business with you. So if it's not your way to use the scripts that I teach or that your company teaches, I think you need to say, make it your way. Quite simply, the scripts I teach have been put together over 30 years of study and research and figuring out what works. The scripts will work. and you'll do 3 recruiting bids, one at the beginning, one in the middle, and one at the end. And remember, we're going to use what letters? RBR, which stands for recruit first, book second, and retail third. So if we're going to recruit first, what do? We start by saying, hi, everybody. Thanks so much for coming along tonight. And I'd like to thank Suzette, our hostess, for having us in her lovely home. And just before I begin my presentation, I'd like to let all of you know that I am looking to expand my business in this area. My company offers full-time money for part-time hours, and you can work this business around your family and other commitments. So if you happen to know someone that might be interested in getting some further information, be sure and let me know. That's it. That took probably 25 seconds to say. But it's a script straight out of the training program that I give you the opportunity to listen to on a regular basis and make part of your vocabulary. So it offers. Thanks so much for coming along this evening. Thank our hostess, Suzette. And just before I begin, I'd like to let you know I'm looking to expand. I offer full-time money for part-time hours with a business that can be operated around your family and other commitments. So here it comes. If you happen to know someone that might be interested, and that's the one to write down. If you happen to know someone that might be interested, here it is, in getting further information, not interested in joining my team or joining my company or joining my club. If you happen to know someone who might be interested in getting some further information, be sure and let me know. That's your opening bid. And then I would go into my opening booking bid. And then I would begin my party presentation. Recruit first, book second, and retail third. Now, if I'm going to do 3 bids, I'm going to do one in the middle where I say, now I'm just about to show you one of my favorite products in the collection that we have to offer to you. But before I do, I'd like to tell you about my other favorite thing about this company, and that's my job. I started this business just a year ago in order to pay for a new fridge, or to buy a new carpet, or buy a new car, or pay school fees, or whatever. And here I am 12 months later, and I've replaced my job at the bank. This is what I do for a living. Or I do this now 2 nights a week to supplement my income. Tell your own story. And I love this business. In fact, some of you might love to do what I do. So if you happen to know somebody that's looking for a change of direction or just a little bit of extra income, be sure and talk to me about it later. There it is. That's your middle recruiting queue, recruiting bid, whatever you want to call it. And at the end, I finish up by offering all 3 of my opportunities. Of course, the idea of joining the business of booking and of buying by saying, okay, ladies, that's all I have to show you now. And just before I ask you to all come up and have a look and touch and feel all this product and try it on or have a play with it, I'd like to remind you that each of you has the opportunity to do 3 things. First of all, you have the opportunity to find out more about how this business might give you an opportunity to earn some extra income or just get out of the house a couple nights a week. If you'd like to know some more information, be sure and ask me later. Secondly, every one of you has the chance to book a presentation of your own and receive some of this great collection for free and half price. And of course, you all have the opportunity now to make your selection and place your order with me. Now, it's conversational, it's scripted, it's straight out of my training, straight out of my scripts. And I tell you right now, these bids, these cues work because we make them conversational, they're non-pushy, and they're 2017 in the way that they're approaching your guests. Then, after you've done all 3 of those bids, recruiting bids, of course you're doing booking bids as well, but after you do 3 recruiting bids, one at the beginning, one in the middle, and one at the end, we ask every guest at every party during shopping time. We ask every guest at every party during shopping time. Say it again, every guest at every party during shopping time. And we ask this question. What do? We're recruiting first, booking second, and retailing third. So we're going to say, okay, got your cup of tea, got your Tim Tam, got your cookies. Okay, come on over. Let me help you. Before I help you make your selection, let me ask you, do you remember I was saying I'm looking for someone to work with me in my business in this area? Here comes the question. Who did you happen to think of that might be interested in getting some further information about how this business could work for them? Now, remember, I'm not saying you'd be good at this. I want you in my team. I'm not pushy at all. I'm just saying, remember earlier, I'm looking to expand my business. Who did you happen to think of that might be interested in getting some further information? Remember, that was in our telephone script a minute ago. Who do you know, we said, or who do you know? Here we're saying, who did you think of that might be interested? And you know what? They're going to say the same thing. No, can't think of anybody. Or they're going to say, you know, my sister or my daughter or my hairdresser. Or, actually, it's me. And so consequently, you'll find by asking every guest at every party, you're going to find one lead. And again, there's no offense in the way that this is asked. Don't you love this script? It's perfect because there's no aggressiveness, no pushiness, no salesy, hard party planning approach. It works. So make RBR, recruit first, book second, and retail third, a standard in the way that you do business, and master this as part of your success system. In the full, yes.
All I can say is, wowza. This is so good. I knew this webinar would have great information that we haven't talked about much at all in our Party Plan 1, 2, 3 webinars recently. I'm just on the edge of my seat. I'm taking so many notes. I feel like I'm a student again. I feel like I'm back at some company training and all eager, and I want to learn how to recruit and lots of that. And I'm just loving it. This is so easy. And the other great news is that this can very easily and nicely fit in with the 10 steps of the party that we train on within the roadmap to Party Plan Success. So, and I can totally feel it is engaging from a conversational viewpoint. So if I'm your party guest and you were using those 3 recruit bids at the opening, the middle, and the end, it would not feel pushy to me. And I love the insight about that it's not offensive to offer someone a job. And that comes to our mindset. So we're giving people an amazing opportunity. Just have a think about your own experience, everyone here right now, as a party plan consultant. Are you grateful that you have the chance to work with your company? I mean, you wouldn't even be doing what you're doing if you didn't like it. So of course we're grateful. So let's not hold back that opportunity, and let's give that to every single party guest that we meet.
Every guest at every party.
I know. I'm writing down so many things here.
and the exciting thing is you can turn this into a system. That's what I teach. My 6-week course, which is the full course that's available at masteringpartyplan.com. The full course is the full success system of how to use persuasive skills to do a better job of recruiting and selling and booking. But it's a
and we're going to give everyone a chance to get all of those the scripts that you're using and the extra training inside the special offer pack, aren't we, Gary?
Right. Yes, absolutely. And that's part of
because I know people are going to be saying, because I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I feel like a brand new student learning so many new things. I want to know, hang on, rewind, say that again. I need more.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a matter.
So we'll get it for everyone.
What's the matter of doing is turning this into a systematic way of doing this. Because if you do it hit and miss, it doesn't always get done. If you turn it into a system and study it and learn it, you then end up making it part of the way you do business. And you then focus on using that system in a non-scattered way. You're very focused on RBR, recruiting first, booking second, retailing third, and not taking anything off the product. We're not taking any emphasis off of the booking. We're just putting equal emphasis on all 3, not being scattered. So we're doing a better job of inviting everybody to join the team. We're inviting them to do a good job. We're inviting them to have a presentation of their own. And then we're presenting at the party itself, finding recruit leads and of course booking leads, and then training either through hostess coaching for the party or particularly training our people with this very same system to do a great job of recruiting themselves. And of course you start building a bigger downline team that way. So the bottom line is, believe that you can master the steps to recruiting. Get to the point to where you develop a stronger ability to believe that you can get these must-say phrases. these paragraphs that become your recruiting bids and your recruiting question. Who do you know, who can you think of that might be interested in getting some further information? I call a must-say phrase. So we teach that, and people learn that to be able to believe more and get more, and also believe in the every guest at every presentation concept. If you program into your head, I do not just try to pick and choose. Some people try to look their customer or prospect up and down and decide who will be good at this business. I've never ever been able to figure that out. I've never been able to know for sure. The people I thought for sure were going to be great bombed out. And the ones that I went ahead and I put them in the books and trained them up and thought they're never going to do anything, they became the star. So I can't choose. So we invite every guest at every presentation. People need what we offer. And I pointed that out at the very beginning of this presentation. They're looking for extra income. But over time, they've been trained to resist our opportunity. They've become anti-network marketing. They've become anti-multi-level business for whatever reason. Well, we, in our party plan approach to this business, offer an extremely viable product-based opportunity. It's not just getting people signed up, it's giving people the opportunity to enjoy the fabulous product that we have, to sell it well, to make good commission and earnings, and then, of course, to build a downline team. Our job is to professionally help people get past their resistance, their uncertainty about wanting to purchase this product, or pardon me, about wanting to join this team. So my challenge to you is to get back to basics and use the Gary Glenn scripts that I just gave you, the Gary Glenn Rocketeer page. Remember the Facebook page, Gary Glenn Direct Selling Rocketeer is the page. So go and like that page. If you want to invite me, I'm just, of course, Gary Glenn. If you want to be friends, we'll see a lot of information over a long period of time, tips and ideas that will help you to get to the standard effectively. And I have a little quick puzzle here, and I'm going to be very fast in showing you this. It is that performance is 10%, but you got to perform 100% right. So that means you've got to do a good job of presenting and performing at the party. Image is 30%. So the whole idea of your paperwork, your presentation, your personal presentation is 30%. And it's true that in order to attract others, we've got to be attractive. So we want to look right, we want to smell right, so people go, wow, I'd like to be part of what you do. And then we cultivate the image, professional, focused, a leader. And then, of course, exposure is 60%. So we've got to get in there and say performance and image mean nothing if nobody knows about it. So be seen at your party as a leader. Get out there and project in such a way to where you do have a dynamic approach. And remember, people want to know and believe that you are building a national team of salespeople in the fruit business. I am building a national team of salespeople in the jewelry business, whatever business you're in. Social media is a very important key to that. Have a killer web presence. Get out there and network. All of that is important. But you know what? Do more parties. My phrase is love the party. I know many people that are out there trying to get creative bookings, and they try to creatively recruit without people knowing anything about us. They'll try to recruit and get a party from the waitress at the restaurant. They'll try to recruit the guy who's trying to sell them a car. It's important that we know that the party is the place we get the best leads, because they've come and they see the product and they love the product. So love the party is the answer to that whole project. And I'm going to now come back to the other camera, and I'm just going to say goodbye to you and turn myself back over to Melanie here. Let me just get back to the window. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Here we go. I'll find it. I'll find it later that same weekend. He finally got it. You're back.
I'm back, and just to show everyone, I'm practicing.
Let me just wrap up.
Yeah, you go. Wrap up.
Let me just wrap up really, really quickly to say that I'm very, very excited that each and every one of you have had the opportunity to watch and participate and take notes and write down these things we've talked about today. And importantly, we know that this recruiting business takes change, and it takes time to learn to be effective in that change. And that's why we've put together an amazing little short course, which is a 2-week course. You get the first module the day you decide to get involved, and then you get the second module 7 days later. And it's 2 one-hour modules with fun sheets. I mean, who wants a worksheet? It's a fun sheet. And there's an audio download as well as the webinar download to teach you to get your headset right about this process. And secondly, it gives you the techniques, and it has the scripting exactly of what we've talked about here today in those 3 recruiting bids. So I hope every single one of you will take a look at that and decide to get involved. And Melanie will give you the link. It's called masteringpartyplan.com/partyplan123. We made a very special offer because my course is 6 weeks and it costs substantially more money. Melanie and I have, for this webinar alone, only for Party Plan 123 people, created this shorter course that's 2 weeks long, 1 week apart, and it's at masteringpartyplan.com/partyplan123, and you'll find the special page that's only available to you to get the 2-week course. So Melanie, I'll kick it back to you, and I hope everybody gets excited about the idea of team building, because the financial rewards, if you haven't looked yet, are huge. And I don't care what company you're with, you can earn a heck of a lot of money with it. So start studying, keep coming back to this webinar and listen to it again and get this information and turn it into action. And if you do, you're on your way to getting the kind of success that you truly deserve from your party plan business. Thanks a lot, Melanie, and back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gary. So everyone, what Gary is really saying there is that I went into bat for each and every one of you and I asked Gary to do something really special that he's never done before, from Mastering Party Plan and the Recruiting Rocketeer. So I said, Gary, we need something really special, something that's simple and easy for everyone to dive into and to get results from fast. So this is what we have come up with you for today as a special offer. So right now, this complete training that Gary's offering for you, where you can go to get all that extra information on the scripts and how to implement this and learn more with him. This is something that's only available to you from Party Plan 123 as a thank you for being in this webinar. So let me just give you a couple of quick and easy ways of getting in there. And this is something that's really dear to my heart. I want to help you to not only get the bookings, but to also sponsor and grow your teams as well. So highly recommended from me. So on your screens right now, what you'll be seeing, where you've seen the comments and the questions, there is an offer tab in there. The easiest and the quickest and the fastest way to get in, you can see it says get the complete training to recruit and team build. And it says how to get more recruits. And then underneath that sign, there's a bright orange button that says click here for more help on how to recruit and team build as recommended by me. So click on the bright orange button, and that's going to open up a second page for you while we stay here in this live feed as well. And then all you do is you fill in the form there. You can choose. Gary has very generously helped me because, again, I asked him to do this for you. So you better make the most of it, everyone, because Gary's giving you this special treatment here today. I asked Gary if he could put together a payment plan for you. So once you open up that page, you'll be able to choose whether you want to pay it off. I think it's in 3 installments. I hope I've got that correct, Gary.
Yes,
Or
correct.
yes, so 3 installments. So it makes it really easy. Basically, just fix up the deposit and get in there and get started. Or you can pay it up front and get it out of the way. Now, a couple of common questions that we usually get inside these webinars. Now, today's offer is showing in Australian dollars. And Gary, just make sure I've got everything right here as I'm reminding everyone. Now, this is in Australian dollars. Now, do you know what that means? For those of you in USA, it means that it is even less for you when we convert it to your US dollars. So can someone please right now help me to go and do a Google search to convert $99 Australian to US dollars. And then the other thing we might do is find out how much the deposit is, and then we'll also do the conversion on that.
The deposit is 40, and
okay.
Each payment is 40 if they pay it out over 6 weeks. Every fortnight, They make a $40 deposit, a $40 commit to it, and therefore it costs a little more to get it if you drag the payments out. But $99, I think today is about $75 Australian.
Well, yeah, I've just done the conversion. It's coming up a little over 73. So there you go, somewhere about 73 to $75 US. So it's a bargain.
That's great.
And if you do the payment plan, so the deposit would be, so if it's
40, 3 installments of 40. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's actually like $29.55 or something US, so less than $30.
That's great.
Okay, so we've got that one done and covered. But keep asking me questions because sometimes people forget these things as we go. The second thing is today it's in PayPal. So when you open up the link to get started, you can use PayPal. But inside PayPal, you can totally choose whether you want to use a credit card or a bank account. So just follow the links and all the info's there. And if anyone's stuck with anything and you need help, just simply ask us a question in the chat box and we'll make sure that we are following up. So thanks, Katia, for doing that research there for us as well. Yen is saying, thank you, Gary, for all the information. She loves the idea of focusing on the parties. Hannah is also throwing out a very enthusiastic thank you, Gary. And
Right.
Tanya's agreeing that it pays to party. So I'm loving seeing all these comments and questions coming in here too. Now, Gary, should we move on over while everyone who is choosing to say yes to the recruiting Rocketeer pack there, should we open up for some questions to you directly to help a little bit more with recruiting?
Absolutely.
Okay, now Lisa had a brilliant question right at the beginning. And thanks, Sarah. She's saying my giveaway reminds me. Okay, I'm glad you did it right then, because here's how the big giveaway is working. We've got a prize draw at the end of this webinar, and the prize giveaway is for 2 free seminar tickets to come to one of my full day seminar trainings. So that's a face-to-face. We've just done some in Australia, but I'll be putting up new dates again for our Australian ones soon. And the big news is we are now advertising USA, and Canada is already up there and advertised. And by the way, that link for the seminars is coming into your chat box. And if we can get enough people, I'm hoping that we'll do 1 or 2 in New Zealand for the first time ever too. So 2 live event seminar tickets, but the bigger news is actually the roadmap to party plan success. It's the full 6-module course in audio version online. So that's the prize draw. How do you get it? I really want you to get some help with recruiting. And I know that Gary has a lot more specific, detailed, and strategic help with recruiting in his pack when you compare that to the roadmap to party plan success. So in the roadmap to party plan success, we touch on it a little bit. And I'm glad to tell you, Gary, that in our 10 steps of the party, we actually do touch on recruiting at 3 different times. So we're in sync there. That's awesome to hear. But Gary's got much more detailed help for you with recruiting and sponsoring. So every single one of you who says yes to Gary's special offer today for the Recruiting Rocketeer pack, you are in our major prize draw, and we will put all of you in a raffle, and one of you will be the winner at the end of our 2 seminar tickets and the roadmap to party plan success. And yes, Alison, it is saying that it expires in 23 minutes. So jump in there. I'll make a note that you've made a little note there in the questions in the comment box. And if Gary's got any suggestions there, jump in. So now, Gary, I'm going to hand over to some questions. So Lisa's question was, Lisa's saying, I'm interested in tips for recruiting when everyone in your area is either already a consultant with your company or they have 2 or more friends that they can order from. So Gary, tips for consultants who feel like their area has a lot of consultants from their company already. What do you say to that?
What I believe we need to do in that instance is we need to make sure that we start to build a network outside of our quote area. If you're in a very small town and there's already 10 people doing the business in your team and there's only 1,000 people in the entire town, I mean, you can't get water out of a rock. So what we need to do is say we need to expand our circle and get outside of our current circle. The good thing about recruiting with most companies is there's no regional limit. So you can say, I'm going to recruit in Sydney, Australia. I'm going to recruit in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm going to recruit in San Francisco, California, as well as within my current circle. And you can do that by saying, I'm just going to do a road trip and go to Auckland, and I'm going to do 10 parties while I'm there over the week that I'm there, and build a circle of people there. Because it is true that once you've got saturation in your community, there's no more to be done right there within your community. Everybody in town, even the lady who works at the petrol station, the lady who works at the supermarket, the lady who works at the bank, are all either customers or consultants. There's not much to do. So we need to expand our circle, move outside of that and say, okay, I'm going to create a list of people I know from other communities where I can go and visit and start a circle of people there and do parties. Build, don't go there to recruit. Go there, well, yes, go there to recruit first, book second, and retail third, but go there to do parties. And at that party, you're going to recruit new people. So it's just a matter of recognizing that all you can do in one community is all you can do, and then move on to the next one. I can't hear you, Melanie. I can't hear you, Melanie.
Thank you. You reminded me. I have myself on mute because I'm typing into the chat roll here for everyone too. So everyone, if you have more questions for Gary, please do type your question in now, even if you've typed it in already, because sometimes these comments, they come in thick and fast and they fall to the bottom of the screen. So now I think, oh, Sandra's asking, what if we aren't in the area that you will be in for the live seminar? So Sandra's talking about the giveaway that I'm offering today. Sandra, basically we look for where we can get clusters of our members to come together. So if there's a spot that you would like us to come to, and if you think you can get, say, at least 15 to 20 people to come together and want to have a seminar, get in touch with me and let me know. So by the way, for these seminar locations that I've put out there for USA and Canada, we need to jump in there and actually register straight away, because what I'm looking for is enough people to show interest and get their spots so that I can go ahead and lock in the venue, because it's a lot of travel. I've got to go the other side of the world to see you, and I need to book hotels. I need to book conference venue locations. So please don't leave it until a month before. The spots that I've promoted out there, and there's 6 of them right now, we need to jump in there straight away so that I can see the numbers are coming in and then lock in those venues. If you have the response and the need for more, I'm definitely open to doing more. Who else has a question for Gary? Questions. Do you have any other comments that you'd like to say there, Gary?
Yeah, I just want to jump in and just ask you, what is the procedure then for your replay, that people can replay this webinar and re-listen to those scripts again? Because it's important that you don't just hear it once. I would say everybody would benefit from listening to this a couple of times to not only get the philosophy of recruiting, but to get those specific words. So when will the replay happen and how does that occur?
It's really easy. I love the way that this webinar platform works, because however you got in here today, you're going to be able to watch the replay again straight away as soon as we go offline. So share it with your teams, but the replay page that you can send people to is just simply partyplan123.com/guest trainer. So all lowercase, one big long word together, guest trainer. And that's going to now take people into the replay page after we close off. I'm going to make sure that we have this replay available for 10 days at least. And I'm going to tell the world about it, because this has been so brilliant, Gary. I'm so energized from this. I love it. The numbers of people watching kept going up as we kept going on. So thank you. It shows me that you're sharing this out with your team, everyone. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So have I missed any questions or comments? I'm just doing a little bit of a flick through here. And well done to Christine. She's saying that she's been following training and implementing by the looks of it. So it's great to see that you're getting results. So remember, the magic comes down to the movement, and the movement is in each and every one of you taking action in your own business. So Gary and I, we love sitting here and talking to you. It's great to chat, and we can talk here until the cows come home. We say that in Australia. Do you say that in America?
Yes, we say that.
But really, the magic, it all comes down to you getting results by putting things into action. So the movement is where the magic is created. So reflect back on your notes that you've got from today, because you've got many of them. And then my best suggestion is to now pick out one thing that you know can make a big difference for you in your recruiting and your team building, and implement that in your own business. So avoid overwhelm. So don't feel like you've got to go out and change a whole heap of things straight away, but maybe choose one thing that's really simple for you to implement that is going to get you results. Now, it can be something that makes you a little bit nervous when you're doing it, because that shows that you're doing something new and exciting and you're on the right track. So Gary, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
If I was a new consultant, which by the way, we've got a lady named Kari in here today, who is brand new consultant. So if I was new like Kari, and I wanted to have you recommend to me, what's one thing that I could do very quickly in my business that's easy to do that won't overwhelm me? What would you suggest is my action plan? For
Kari and for you, you new consultant, what I would do is to say, let's take these scripts, listen to this webinar again, stop it and write it down, write these scripts down, get the words exactly as they are on these scripts as I've given them, including the phone script, and write a cue card that is the script for your first and opening recruiting bid or queue, your middle opening, your middle recruiting bid or seed, whatever you call it, and then the third recruiting and booking seed that you use, and read it off of the card. If you have to stand there and read it word for word, do it, because at least the words are said the way they're supposed to be said. The second time you do it, Kari and Melanie, you will be able to do it a little bit less with the cue card. The third time, the cue card's kind of laying on the table. The 10th time, you don't even use the cue card anymore. So start from the beginning, learning to use these words, this verbiage, exactly the way I've taught it here today, because it's what works. People who play with it and go, I can say it better than that, it doesn't work. They screw it up and they lose the momentum with it. So I would say to her, use those words exactly as I've said them here today if you want to recruit more. And in fact, go to Melanie's material and listen to her booking cues and do the same thing. Use a cue card, use a script, and if you have to read it, so be it. That's my advice. I can't hear you, dear.
No, I just need to remember to keep taking myself off the mute button there. Now, I've got a question in closing for everyone, and whoops, I've got a typo mistake. That's all right. We're typing really fast. Okay, so for everyone, I'd love to know, what one thing are you choosing to implement from this training, or what did you love most about the training from Gary today? So we're going to keep our special offer open a little bit longer. We are going to draw our major prize draw, which is the 2 seminar tickets plus the full online 6-module audio training of the Roadmap to Party Plan Success. I think Rebecca's just come in with a question and I'm reading off my screen here. So Rebecca's asking, I need one more recruit. Oh, here we go. Don't we see things like this very often and sometimes splashed all over Facebook and social media? I need one more recruit to promote to the next level by the end of the month. How do you recommend I build the excitement to get people to want to jump in and start straight away? As I find that sometimes it takes a bit of time to get people to say yes to the opportunity. So Gary, Rebecca's close to promoting. Well done, Rebecca. What tips do you have to find one more recruit? My belief is no one will join because you have to do that in order to win the prize. They don't join that for that. You need to go to them and say that I have an incredible opportunity, and if you decide to join before the end of the month, I'll pay for half your kit. If you decide to join before the end of the month, I will add 2 more items in your kit. In other words, if you're willing to put an investment into it, go ahead and say, if you do it before the end of the month, I will double the size of your kit personally. Now that's a motivation and an incentive. Don't say, I need you to join by the end of the month in order for me to promote. They won't join for that. They need to have a benefit for them. But what I think would be beneficial to do is to go to every hostess you've had for the last 4 months and offer them the opportunity to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you. And then maybe you do expand the size of the kit or incentivize the urgency to get them to join by the end of the month. You still got a couple of weeks till that happens. The thing that I think is so important here is that we create the benefit for them, not make it look as though it's a benefit for you.
Also understand this, 1 in 5 hostesses will join a party plan company of some kind, of some name, in their lifetime. 1 in 5 hostesses will join a party plan company of some kind in their lifetime. So your hostess is your best prospect. And so start there and ring her up and say, look, I'd love to have a coffee. We talked about the idea of you becoming part of my business. I'd love to have a coffee because I've got a really special offer if you decide to get involved now, and see if she's interested. So see if that makes any difference, but just get on the phone and have lots of cups of coffee between now and the end of the month. Unmute.
So Gary, I'm just writing, yeah, unmute. I'm just writing a note. I've got Patricia that I think is wanting a bit of help with her MasterCard there, or PayPal or something. So Patricia, just note that I've written down your name and your email address here. In fact, I believe that's Patricia that I just met in Perth at my seminar in Australia, I think. Is that you? Hi, Pat. And Teresa's saying, I think I signed up, but I've been locked out. Locked out of the webinar, maybe she means. Okay, so Teresa, I'll make a little note of that there too. Sometimes if you're watching on a mobile phone or a tablet, to open up another window, it kind of pauses the one that we're in the live feed, but don't panic, the replay's there. Hi, Patricia, great to see you there. Rebecca's saying thank you. And Gary, I just want to read all the beautiful comments we got in here because I asked everyone what they loved the most. Sandra loved the idea of asking at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the party. Tonya has been doing parties for 4.5 years, but today she's found new ways to recruit at the party. Woohoo. And Sarah loved concentrating more on RBR, recruit, book, and retail. Bonnie is saying she's fairly new to direct selling, but she's learned a lot. Rhonda loved that Gary. Oh, listen to this one, Gary. Rhonda loved that Gary was so smooth and sincere. You're a smooth cat, Gary. You're a smooth cat.
Smooth operator. Oh, dear. Shot it.
Smooth and sincere with his offers. And Sandra loved the RBR as well. So, woohoo! Oh, there's another Melanie. Hello, Melanie. She says, I finally made it. Well, Melanie, we're kind of wrapping up here, but that's okay because you can catch the replay. So the replay is at partyplan123.com/guest trainer. The special offer, I'll just read this out for everyone again. So the link for the special offer to get all of the scripts and all of the special training that Gary has generously offered to you today, it's just for Party Plan 123. So write this down, masteringpartyplan.com/partyplan123. And you can either do a payment plan in 3 installments or get it out of the way up front. So if you get it out of the way up front, it's $99 Australian, which in today's conversion, that's roughly around $74 US. If you do the deposit of $40, that's coming down to less than $30 in US. So welcome, Norma. She says that she's just joined. Kirsty is loving the RBR and she's heard this and it's reinforced this for her today, and we do need to hear things over and over again. I can't tell you how many times I went to one specific training session that was the same information every single time, and I think I went along to a full day training about 5 or 6 times, but every single time I went, I always walked away with just one thing that I implemented better than what I had done before, and then always saw my results increase. And that's my desire for you. So just because you've heard something before doesn't mean that you don't need to hear it again. We might just listen to something slightly different or just reinforcing a reminder. Then we go out there and we do, because the magic is in the movement, and we take action today, and then boom, our whole business is growing. And isn't that what you'd love to see over this Christmas and New Year period coming up right now? So we've had so much fun. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm just typing in a little bit of a message there to say thank you very much. We are going to draw our major prize draw. I want to make sure that we're helping people like Patricia, who just wanted to double check a few things. I want to make sure that we're giving everyone a chance to get in there. So we will announce our major prize winner on Facebook. And we'll make sure that we've got a big announcement on there by this time tomorrow. So we just need to make sure that Gary can access all the info to find out all the names of our new members, and we'll put you into our raffle, and we will draw a major prize winner for the Roadmap to Party Plan Success and 2 seminar tickets. So it's been my pleasure to bring this event to you. Hasn't this been fun? So now you're equipped and you're ready to go out there. You know how to recruit. You know how to team build in 3 simple steps. Jump in there, get Gary's complete training so that you can implement that to a higher degree and get even better results. I love bringing this information to you. Please continue to follow us with Party Plan 123. You know, it's people like you that makes this really special. A big round of applause to each and every one of you for being in here today, because you've invested your time and your energy and your enthusiasm in all of these questions and comments that I can see going by. We've got the thank yous coming in now from Bonnie and Sandra there too. So that's lovely to see. So Gary, a big thank you to you from the bottom of my heart, the Rocketeer in recruiting for direct sales. So Gary, it's been so great, and we're just we're giving you the big woohoo, the big cheer from all around the world.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you, thank you. Now, any last words? What do we wish for everyone as we finish up here today, Gary?
I wish that you turn these next 6 weeks into the most powerful and valuable time in your business, because everybody is in Christmas party mode. Do Christmas themed parties, book them in close, but think RBR at every single one of them. So you go into January with 20 leads of people that are interested in joining your business. So turn this time into exciting Christmas business time, but more importantly, RBR means it's also great recruiting time. So good luck to everybody. All the best. Enjoy it. And thank you so very much, every one of you, for participating and for your respect and your attention in this presentation today. So we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. It's been amazing to have you here. So do go out and share this event with your teams at partyplan123.com/guest trainer. We look forward to helping you to recruit and to team build over the Christmas season and right into the new year. This time of the year can be one of the absolute best times of the year to be sponsoring and recruiting. So don't hold back. Go and offer the opportunity to everyone. I'm Melanie Parker, founder of Party Plan 123, and it's been my pleasure to bring Gary Glenn, the recruiting rocketeer, to you today. And Gary, it's tradition with Party Plan 123 that we do a big excited wave at the end, and you've got to go woohoo as you do it so that your face comes back up on the screen. So off you go.
Woohoo! Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy yourselves and make it happen.
Make it happen. Woohoo! Thanks, everyone from Party Plan 123. We will see you again very, very soon. Bye.